Hey Canucks fans, so much going on with the Canucks in the NHL and with me personally that I want to give you a quick update on all of these things. I'm Clay Emo, I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter, I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram, I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for a very snowy Wednesday, January the 15th. My work is closed, kids are off school today, my religious education classes will be canceled tonight, but still busy, still doing work from home, and heading downtown for an interview that I'm doing about the Canucks, but I'll get to that at the end of this video. So let's talk about the Canucks first. A 4-0 loss in Winnipeg. Now you might say, oh man, the sky is falling, the team's so bad. But no, when you look at the game, when you watch the game, and I didn't get a chance to do a post-game vlog because I was bowling last night, but the Canucks had a lot of chances. They had 41 shots on Connor Hellebuyck. You guys may have seen my tweet. I actually have Connor Hellebuyck in my fantasy team, my keeper team. So I've had him for many, many years. And I actually meant to bench him last night because I don't like to play goalies against the Canucks because I have Besser, Pettersson, Hughes, and Miller on that same fantasy team. But I left him in by accident, and he got me 5 points because he got the shutout, 2 points for a win, another 3 for a shutout. So I do feel shame, but I guess it's the one good thing that came out of last night. But the Canucks played well. They had multiple posts, multiple, just missed one-timers, open nets missing. So I'm not too upset with how they played. I would have loved their power play to be a little more effective, but overall, and they have trouble playing in Winnipeg. They have trouble playing at home against Winnipeg. They have trouble against Winnipeg overall. So it kind of stinks that Winnipeg hadn't won at home for a while. Winnipeg's defense, when you have Lucas Spiza on your top pairing, he actually played quite well, actually. But I thought the Canucks were in for a good victory, especially coming off, or at least a good performance, coming off their 2 wins, back-to-back wins on the weekend. But I don't fret. You could, the negative Nelly would say they've lost 3 of their last 5. I like to say they've won 9 of their last 12, and they're right in the hunt for the Pacific Division, not just a wild card spot, not just 3rd place spot, but even for the lead of the Pacific Division. They still have games in hand on all 3 teams above them, ahead of them. So, a small hiccup, but I think the Canucks can turn it around, certainly with strong performances. Tomorrow night against Arizona, what a massive game. And then Saturday night, the Lunar New Year game that I'm going to be very involved in, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So that's for the Canucks. Yes, I would love to see a better result, but the performance was okay. It wasn't awesome, but they had their chances, and they came across a really hot goaltender that I happen to have in my fantasy league. That's not why he did well, but so let's not fret, Canucks fans. Let's turn it around. They're off today, and then hopefully go into the All-Star break with 2 wins starting tomorrow night when they host Arizona. I'll be going to that game, by the way, with my son, Sean, so say hi if you're there for sure. Let's talk about what's going on in the league. First, there's that Kassian and Tkachuk stuff that happened over the weekend. We know that Kassian got a 2-game suspension. I kind of hinted at this. Here's my take. I'm fine with what Kassian did because he was mad, obviously, and embarrassed, but more mad. I was fine with Tkachuk turtling or not fighting if his hits were clean, because there's no rule that says just because you hit a guy clean, hard, once or twice, that you have to fight. But if the hits were dirty, and that's where the subjectivity comes in, then I think Tkachuk should stand up for himself, because you can't go around giving dirty, cheap shots, penalized or not, and then not expect to have to answer the bell. So for this particular case, I was fine with what Kassian did. I would have been fine if Tkachuk's hits were clean, but I don't think his hits were clean. So therefore, I do think he should have at least stood, answered the bell when it came to Kassian. But it'll make for an interesting matchup this weekend when the 2 teams meet once again, and when Kassian's back from his suspension. Then yesterday we learned the news that Washington Capitals forward Nicholas Backstrom signed a 5-year, $46 million contract extension. So that's $9.2 million average per year for a season for the next 5 years. So obviously a very, very good player, a very well-rounded player, always kind of in the shadow of Alex Ovechkin and maybe even John Carlson this year, but an awesome player. Anyone would want to have him on his team, on their team. So with $46 million, though, committed over the next 5 years, puts him right behind Ovechkin, who makes $9.5 million. Now Backstrom's going to be making $9.2 million. Not sure if they're going to have enough money to sign Braden Holtby, their goaltender, who is a UFA starting July 1st. So that'll be a very interesting thing to watch. What will Washington do? Are they happy with their goaltenders that are coming out, that are pushing Holtby from behind, so to speak? And are they going to trade him to a team, another team, before the trade deadline? Are they going to try and negotiate with them? That'll be very fascinating. It's not as, I think it's probably more dire than, say, the Canucks situation with Jacob Markstrom, but I think there's a few of these goaltending ones that are going to be interesting to watch over the next few months. So again, Nicholas Backstrom, $46 million over the next 5 years, 9.2 per year. Then the big news from today, Gerard Gallant, head coach of the Vegas Golden Knights, you know, that same Knights team that went to the Stanley Cup final 2 seasons ago, fired today, replaced by Peter DeBoer, who was DeBoer, I don't say that right, but Peter DeBoer. I think I just messed up 3 times in a row. The guy who used to coach San Jose, he is now coaching in Vegas. So he was named as Gallant's replacement. Everything I've seen this morning says this is all performance-based. It's nothing to do with anything that happened off ice or whatever. It's simply a performance-based decision, which tells me the people running the Vegas Golden Knights, they have high expectations because this is the guy who won Coach of the Year. This is the guy who took Vegas to the Stanley Cup Finals in their expansion year and still had a decent playoff run last year, just that crazy game against San Jose where they got eliminated. And they're fine this year. Yeah, sure, they're out of a playoff spot right now, but they're with the Canucks, with Calgary, with Edmonton, with Arizona in this crazy Pacific Division where only 3 points separate the top 5 teams. Again, that's 3 points. And we know this because Vancouver is right in the mix of this. So with Vegas, all they have to do is string a few more wins together and then they'll be in first place of the division. But I guess that's good enough for not good enough for the people that run the Vegas Golden Knights. Once again, Gerard Gallant out, replaced by Peter DeBoer. There, that was better. 4th time lucky. And the fascinating part for Canucks fans is we talked about, and I talked a lot about how Gerard Gallant was going to the All-Star game because as of January 3rd or 4th, whenever the halfway point of the season was, he was the leader, his team, the Vegas Golden Knights, were the leader in points percentage. And he only got that because he won his last 2 games before the cutoff. Now with Gerard Gallant fired, do they go to the next team that had the best points percentage at that time? And that would be your Vancouver Canucks, head coach Travis Green. So does that mean Travis Green is going to the All-Star game to coach the Pacific Division? That would be awesome. That would be Pettersson, Markstrom, Hughes, and Green, something that I predicted could happen, although it was a long shot. It may very well happen. We're waiting to hear news from the NHL to see what they're going to do. Kind of weird timing, right? It's unexpected, and especially going into the All-Star break in a week and a half, or in a week, when he's supposed to be coaching one of the 4 teams. So it's something to keep an eye on. But again, Gerard Gallant out as the coach of Vegas Golden Knights, a performance-based decision. All I'm saying is Vegas Golden Knights have some high expectations in that organization, which is probably a good thing. Then 2 last bits of news from a personal standpoint, both good things. One of them, you may have seen my tweet yesterday. I did a video and then a tweet about with my dog Mickey, and you may have seen those, or you may have seen my post on Instagram today, both the Instagram post and Instagram story. I'm very excited to be teaming up with TD Canada and on an initiative for this Saturday's game when the Vancouver Canucks host the San Jose Sharks. And it's a Lunar New Year. That doesn't really happen until January 24, 25, but the Canucks, that's their last home game before the All-Star break. So they are celebrating the Lunar New Year this Saturday at their game against the Sharks. I'll be working with, teaming up with TD Canada to bring wishes from Canucks fans to fellow Canucks fans, to Canucks players, to the Canucks team, organization, and to the Canucks community in general, as a whole. And the way I'm actually practically going to do this is I'm going to take your wishes that you can leave a comment here on YouTube, leave a comment on Facebook, on Instagram, or especially on my Twitter, and leave a comment with your wishes for your fellow Canucks fans and for the Canucks community. And I'll take some of those wishes and I'll do my best to hang them on a wishing tree that will be there at Rogers Arena on the 18th, a TD Canada wishing tree. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense. If it doesn't, go to my Twitter account. It's my pinned tweet right now. It's a 1-minute video explaining what I'm doing with TD Canada on Saturday. I'm very excited to be working with them, and I'm excited for this opportunity to do something good for the Canucks community. So that's this Saturday, and you'll start to see a couple posts about that over the next few days. The other thing is in about an hour, I'm going to be trekking downtown, so it's actually good timing, or maybe it's bad timing, and I'll be sitting with Teresa Lalonde of Our Vancouver, a show on CBC on Saturdays, and we'll be doing a taped interview today, a sit-down interview about what it's like to be a Canucks fan, a lifelong Canucks fan. So I'm very excited for this opportunity. I got to go up and shower now and get going, make sure I allow myself plenty of time to get downtown. But a chance for me to share for a few minutes why I love the Vancouver Canucks, why I'm so optimistic, why I'm so loyal to them. So I'm excited for that opportunity as well. So there you go. The quick update from me about the Canucks, about the NHL, Kachuk, Cassian, and Backstrom and Gallant, and then a couple updates from me personally, working with TD at the Canucks Lunar New Year game this Saturday, which I'm excited about. And of course, going downtown now to do this interview, which will also air on Saturday. So a lot of cool things. Thank you for journeying with me, and I hope you enjoy the day. Be safe in the snow. Leave a comment below. I've been lacking in the engagement because no one's writing comments, but that's probably because I never replied to their comments before. So I'm gonna do much better at doing that. But tell me, put something down below. You can say, this is what I thought about last night's game. You can say, this is what I think about the firing of Gallant, or this is what I think about Backstrom's contract, or this is what I think about Cassie and Kachuk. Or you can say, hey, good job, Clay, with your news, or whatever you want to do. You don't have to say that. That was kind of a weak one at the end there. But I would love to start engaging more with you down below in the comments. So leave a comment. I'll read, react, and reply. Subscribe if you like to. Like this video if you like to. Enjoy the day. Be safe in the snow. God bless. Go Canucks, go.